it. So we now start with verse 45. We'll chant it once more. Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna Nirdvandvo Nitya Sattvasto Niryogakshema Atmavan. Who'll read? Bijal?
Arjuna, the Vedas thus deal with the evolutes of the three gunas, modes of Prakriti, which is.
Guys, now you know your voice has to reach Manipal. So loudly.
Arjuna, the Vedas thus deal with the evolutes of the three gunas, modes of Prakriti, which is worldly enjoyments and the means of attaining such enjoyments. Be thou indifferent to these enjoyments and their means, rising above pairs of opposites like pleasure and pain, etc., established in the eternal existence, God, absolutely unconcerned about the fulfillment of wants and the preservation of what has been already attained. You be self-controlled.
Very lamba choda and sounds like a bouncer.
Yeah.
But it is very, very simple. Okay, you break it up. Bhagwan is telling Arjun, the Vedas deal with, when we say evolutes of the three gunas, means the Vedas also deal with sansaric knowledge. That's what it's meaning. Worldly knowledge. The Vedas not only deal with Brahma Vidya, knowledge of Brahma, but it also deals with the knowledge of the world, like history, geography, maths, all that is in the Vedas. We'll come to it later. And also how to attain all the worldly enjoyments also is written in the Vedas. How to get whatever you want is also written in the Vedas. Okay, it's not just about how to get God. It's also written how to get wealth, how to get husband and wife, how to get children, how to get whatever, everything, whatever you want is written in the Vedas. But Arjun, he says, be thou indifferent to these enjoyments and their means. Arjun, you don't focus on these worldly desires and the method of getting these desires. What you should be doing is rise above the pairs of opposites. Rise above sukh and dukh, good and bad, pleasure and pain, all that. Rise above that. And what to do with after rising above that? Establish yourself in your Atma, in yourself, in your higher self. Establish yourself there and be unconcerned about ye chahiye, wo chahiye, how to get it, and after getting it, how to preserve it. Rise above all these things and be self-controlled. Okay, this is the paraphrasing of this lamba choda thing. Take the meanings first. Veda by itself obviously means Vedas only. Vishaya is subject matter. Objects, the objects of the world, the subject matter. And Traigunya means anything made of the three gunas. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Anything that is made up of the three gunas of Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. So these three words actually mean the subject matter of Vedas is of the three gunas. Means whatever there is in the universe, it is written in the Vedas. Then Arjun, obviously Arjun, Bhava, be, Nistraigunyo, be above the three gunas of nature. Rise above the three gunas of nature. And how to rise above the three gunas of nature? He is giving you something. He is giving you the method. Nirdvando, rise above the pairs of opposites. Dvanda means plurality, duality. So rise above the duality of sukha, dukkha, happy, unhappy, good, bad. Rise above that. Nitya Sattvastho, eternally be established in Sattva Gun. Be established in Sattva Gun. Pakka, be in Sattva. Not in Rajas, not in Tamas. Nir-yoga-kshema, be unconcerned about getting things and preserving them. We'll explain all these terms in due course. Just take the meanings of the words now. Nir-yoga-kshema means be unconcerned, or means don't pursue getting things, acquiring things, and then preserving them, protecting them, hoarding them. And Atmavan, be situated in the self. Be situated in the Atma. Be established in the Atma. So the whole thing means the subject matter of the Vedas is whatever is there in the universe made up of the three gunas. Alright? Arjun, don't be concerned with all these material things. Rise above the material part of the Vedas. How? By becoming free from the pairs of opposites, by eternally establishing yourself in Sattva Gun, by being unconcerned about acquiring and hoarding and protecting things, and be fully established in the Atma. Okay? The Vedas were not written by anybody. There is no authorship of Vedas. Vedas were not created by the human brain. Vedas were revealed to the human brain, to the rishis and the great masters while they were in deep meditation. It is not a creation of any human being. 80% of the Vedas talks about Karma Kand. 80%. Karma Kand is what? Rituals, practices, puja, havan, homa, yagna, mantra, all that is 80% of the Vedas. 16% is on upasana, bhakti. How much is of Brahma Gyan?
4%.
Only 4%. Only 4%. And that 4% is the Upanishads, or what we also call Vedant, because it comes at the Ant of the Vedas. Those who are interested only in Bhog and Aishwarya, like we had discussed last time, Bhog and Aishwarya, those who are interested only in Bhog and Aishwarya only refer to the 80% of Karma Kand. Unfortunately, man is a greedy animal, and the more it gets, the more it wants. And there is no end to that greed. There is no end to the desire. Why like that? Why no end to the desire?
It's the nature of
Because he thinks that he will get pleasure from the next thing and from the next.
How he thinks like that? From where all these desires are coming?
Because
From so many lifetimes, we have collected so many desires. Hello? And they have all remained like dormant little snakes, in the back of our antakaran. One gets cleared, the next one is ready to rear its ugly head. And therefore, how many times will I fulfill these desires till they get exhausted? How? What? How to do it? What is to be done?
sublimate them.
Okay, one sublimated, the next one. That sublimated, next one.
Realize the
It's a
futility of
Sadhyanishta sadhana.
It's a
Realize the
practice
futility.
sadhana.
Sadhana kiya, khatam hua, next one came. Then
उसके लिए साधना करो.
karte jao. I don't know how many more lifetimes you will need to sublimate one desire, because there are, I don't know, countless. So what to do?
Control our mind.
Understand the desire belongs to my BMI. And I am not the BMI. There is one umbrella solution. Understand you are not the body, the mind, or the intellect who is being troubled by these desires. The minute you get that, understanding has to happen. Understanding. There's nothing else. It is a question of understanding. And then like that, Sandeep says his bhakti will jallo. So, how to understand, how to get this understanding? Bhagavan Krishna tells Arjun not to bother with that part of the Vedas that focuses on the Vishayas of the universe. Because every Vishaya of the universe, including this table, including this book, including my body, including you, including all of us, is made up of 3 gunas. Everything that you can see with your 5 senses is made up of 3 gunas. Which are the 3 gunas? Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Everything has 3 gunas. And when we are running after Vishais, understand you are still remaining in that level of 3 gunas. What we have to do is we have to focus on that part of the understanding to reach that goal which is not from the 3 gunas. And what is above 3 gunas?
The self.
Atma. Only Atma is beyond 3 gunas. Everything else is made up of 3 gunas. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. So focus on understanding what is Atma. Focus on understanding what is Atma and realizing that Aham Brahmasmi, I am Atma.
Ma, that is Gunatit.
Then eventually that will lead you to being Gunatit. Gunatit means above the 3 gunas. But everybody is not like that. Everybody is different. See, the 3 gunas are in every single person and every single thing in different proportions. So somebody will have more sattva, less rajas, and very little tamas. Another person may have more rajas and equal sattva and tamas. A third person may have fully tamas with very little rajas and very little sattva. And worse than that, firstly, that it is all in different proportions. Secondly, the same person will be at different times. Sometimes will have more sattva, sometimes will have more rajas, sometimes will have more tamas. Okay? The same person will have different proportions of these 3 gunas. And the Shastras and the Rishis who put all these Shastras together understood this disparity. Understood that there are different levels or different propensities in different people and different tendencies in the same person at different times. And therefore they needed to give something for every level. If they had not bothered at all with those who are not sattvic, they did not bother about tamasic people or rajasic people, and they didn't give anything for them, then what would happen?
Those numbers will
They would be totally lost. So at least if you are rajasic, do this. If you are tamasic, do. Of course, nobody will say, I'm tamasic, I'll do this. But the guru or the teachers or the Vedas or the Shastras will give them some upai, some method, something to elevate their level of existence, their level of thinking. So, Bhagavan Krishna gives us that method of elevating ourselves. Gives us that method of transcending the BMI, transcending gunas. And when we transcend it, we will rediscover. I say rediscover because there is a deep knowledge already there, Aham Brahmasmi. So you will rediscover yourself as that supreme being. So what is that method? First is Nitya Sattvasto. So see that word over there, Nitya Sattvasto. What does it mean? Being established in Satya, Sattva. Nitya means what? Always. Sattva, Sattva gun. Asto, be. Be eternally established in the Sattva gun, and this is your first step of the ladder of sadhanas. Whatever you do, even coming to satsang doesn't automatically make you sattvic, unfortunately. Because you could be coming to satsang with the bhav of tamas, with the bhav of rajas, or the bhav of sattva. Okay, how do you come to satsang and be sattvic? How is a sattvic way of coming to satsang?
To learn
To learn,
and to implement.
to implement, learn and implement, and you are enjoying that. You are enjoying it. You love it, and so you are coming spontaneously. Nobody has to drag you with a lasso. Huh?
Not coming here to show off.
That is So rajas is what?
Show off.
To show off. You have to have something to say when you go in the night to the cocktail party. That
I'm into BG these days.
I'm into BG. I'm into BG these days.
That's a real genuine one.
And then if somebody thoda sa takes the bait, acha, what is this BG and all? Then 1 hour non-stop pravachan. Huh?
Go outside the party and
No, inside only, because there you'll attract more people.
can't shout.
That all I don't know what kind of parties you'll go to. And tamas,
Crazy get up and report.
huh?
You're coming this time.
Tamas, how you come tamasically to satsang?
Coming for patata vada.
Coming for patata vada. Rajas.
Coming for press.
So we also use manipulate.
You're dragged here. You have no intention of your own to come. Grudgingly you come. Or you don't see the value. You don't see the value in it. Somebody's
By
forcing. Yeah, that is tamasic. Okay. Alright. So as we have said, our sadhana as a spiritual aspirant is basically all the different sadhanas which we are doing here up till now have all been different ways of making ourselves sattvic. The spiritual journey is about purification of the body, mind and intellect. And becoming more and more sattvic is the purification that we are doing. And we also gave one nice image many years ago that all you have to do, if you want to go up on an escalator, all you have to do is get onto the first step of the escalator. After that, what you have to do? Hold firm. Make sure you don't slip, right? So, becoming sattvic is getting onto the escalator, first step. Then what to do? Nothing. Hold on. Escalator will take you up. You don't have to do anything. But you have to do something to get onto the escalator. And that something which you have to do to get onto the escalator is make yourself sattvic. But I come for satsang and nobody's dragging me. Your mind will say, so I'm very sattvic. Not just for coming for satsang. You have to be sattvic before you come for satsang. You have to be sattvic after you go home from satsang. You have to be sattvic in every aspect of your life. In all your relationships, in your food habits, in your eating habits, in your reading habits, in your talking, in your listening. You can listen also sattvically, you can listen also rajasically, you can listen also tamasically. Everything you do, you can do it in any of the three ways. Every single thing. every single thing. Therefore, that is the journey, that is the awareness. For that we do another sadhana. It's just going backward, witnessing.